All right, here. Hopefully my internet is not lagging. It has been acting weird since I got up here. Let me make Henry a co-host here. All right. Oh, made the wrong person co-host. Withdraw co-host. Like, whoopsie. Sorry about that, Darlene and Mike. All right, here we go. Make co-host. Awesome. Okay, so let me know in the chat how you're all doing, where you're tuning in from. Fill me in. Y'all are getting me Hot Mess Express. We are in the middle of purging, packing, and moving right now. Henry, which is my beautiful right-hand woman, is actually visiting from North Texas. She drove 4 hours to be here, and her kiddos are here with Harrison, and she's actually downstairs in my house right now. So there you go. So monitoring all the things. So we are in the middle of purging, packing, and moving. So y'all know how that can be. All right. I love that. Texas here too. Yeehaw. All right. Yeah, let me know where y'all are from because there's a couple new faces. A lot of y'all I know right now. How you're feeling. Love it, Trisha. Minnesota. I'm like, is it Minnesota? You know, there's those ones that like kind of make you go, oh, wait, is that actually the state? Yes. Awesome. Okay. So tonight the plan is for us to start out. I'm going to start out by getting my computer to work. Hold on just a second. There we go. I'm gonna get y'all, we're gonna start out by, I'm gonna share some of my favorite oils and why they're my favorites. And then I want y'all sharing your favorite oils, why they're your favorites in the chat when we get started going with that, okay? And then a lot of y'all that are in the community, when I asked about being a brand partner, for those of you that are brand partners or curious, what is maybe a struggle that you're experiencing right now when it comes to the business side of Young Living? And almost everybody had something to say about sharing online or social media or feeling fear of judgment or feeling like, you know, maybe you took a step back and now you're ready to share again, but you're not really sure how or what. So we're going to dive into that as well. For those of you that are new to being in community with me, a lot of you are in my Soul Up community, so y'all are over there, so you know this about me. But you know, I've been a transformational life coach for 15 years at this point. I used to own my own social media agency. Like, I know social media, I know growth, I know business. I'm a serial entrepreneur, run multiple businesses, anything from the, you know, Young Living business that we've been a part of for 11 years to, you know, I co-created a jewelry company business with my best friend, to writing a book, to being, you know, a coach, a mentor, doing energy work. Like, I just kind of do it all. But one thing that I'm really good at is just sharing and also breaking through limiting beliefs. And so we're going to work through some of this tonight. And so as I encourage you always on these Zooms, anytime we're connected, the more you engage in the chat, the more your energy is there, the more you're going to receive from this. And don't hesitate as I'm going through the sharing process, as far as like teaching you how to light up online. Okay. Don't hesitate to ask, you know, certain questions that are specific to you as well. Okay. And I'll be watching the chat as well as, you know, seeing if anybody raises their digital hand or anything like that. Okay. So I first want to talk about just some of my favorite must-have oils, and I want to hear yours in the chat as well. Okay. Why it is so important to have in your arsenal your favorites, right? And I'm going to talk about one supplement that I can't go without, because Young Living has like 600 oils, products, supplements. Like, it's crazy the store that we have access to, right? But it's so important with the premise of what we're talking about tonight when it comes to sharing and building a business online through sharing, okay, is being in love with the products, okay? Like, truly loving the products. And we're going to talk about that later, but you have to be a product of the product. And so I wanted to start out by us sharing, maybe giving each other some different ideas. I'm not going to get into all the scientific backing behind some of these oils, the sequesterpenes and monoterpenes and all the things that it does with the limbic system and the brain barrier. We're not going to get into that. But I think it's important too, though, that we do know, which you all do, I'm sure, if you're brain partners, or those of you that are new members of mine that maybe are curious about being a brain partner, these essential oils are not just for smelling good, right? They actually do something scientifically, biologically, physiologically to us on a cellular level. Okay. And so it's so important that you have key things that you are obsessed with and in love with. So for me, I've got quite a few. It was funny. I like have oils up here. We're packing, like I said, because we're moving. And I like grabbed a baggie of like the oils that I had on the counter. And I was just like grabbing stuff, you know? And I was like, I don't even know where this oil is. And Henry just got here and she walked in and I have a 28-gallon tote that's almost full with just gallon baggies of oils that I've pulled from all over my house. And I told Harrison it would be fun when we move and we move into the new house. We're going to live in an Airbnb for 5 weeks. But when we move into the new house, we're going to count how many oils we have. And he was like, we got to guess like how many oils are in this when we're like taking them out and stuff, because there's an obscene amount. I'll have to post a picture in the community later. But again, it's important that you have your favorites. So some of mine, which I know this has got to be almost every, haven't heard anybody not like it, but I don't know if we could be friends, but no, I'm just kidding. But Valor is like my go-to for everything, for calming me down, for being the chiropractor in the bottle. I'm going through a lot of physical therapy, rehabbing in my body from an old injury like 20 years ago that I never healed correctly. And I've been lathering in Valor in between chiro and PT appointments. For sleep, I love rolling it underneath my big toe, but it is just my go-to. Number one, the smell of it just brings me back to like day one with Young Living. So I got my kit 11 years ago, almost 11 years ago. And that was when Valor and Joy were in the kit, right? And so it was like, those were my first experiences. And so Valor has just been like my staple number one go-to for my husband and I, for my little boy. It's courage in a bottle. It's confidence. It's calm. It's peace. It's like, yes, we have one called Peace and Calming, but this one's like my ultimate, right? Another part of my morning ritual that I'm sure a lot of you have parts of rituals that I want to hear about. I love that, Trisha. Stress Away got me hooked. Oh, Stress Away, vacation in a bottle. That's one of my favorites too. The roll on I'll keep with me all the time, right? But Orange and Joy, okay? So especially on together, I like Orange and Joy together. And here's how I pair this in the morning. This is actually a part of my morning routine, my morning ritual, if you will, is I have Orange and Joy next to my coffee maker. And what I do is when I'm boiling, I've got my kettle on for my water and I've got my like drip thing here for the drip, whatever it's called, drip coffee maker. I have it and like I'll sit there and ground in and I grab orange and I put orange on my wrist and I smell it because orange is the happy oil. Like that's what they call it, right? The happy oil, right? And then what I do is I put a couple drops in my palm of joy and I like lift up my shirt and I like I rub joy over my heart. And I just set my intention, say my prayers for the day, all this, like get really grounded in today. But orange and joy paired together is like happy, peaceful, joyful, like it just sets the tone for my day every day. Okay. I see a lot of y'all naming one of my favorites, White Angelica. White Angelica is highly regarded, in my opinion, as powerful, energetic, and spiritual protection, right? It really, to me, like helps really, and number one, it smells incredible. Like White Angelica smells so good, right? But putting it behind your ears, on your wrist, and just kind of like setting the intention and really clearing like your energy filled with it and casting this beautiful energetic barrier. I use it before I go to public speaking events. I use it if I'm feeling a little bit anxious before going to like a big group of people, because I'm actually an introvert. If you probably wouldn't know that from being online. I'm an outrovert, or not an outrovert, an extrovert online, an introvert more in person, right? So if I know I'm going to be around a bunch of people, I'll put White Angelica and Valor all over me, right? And I see that that's some of y'all's favorites. Let me read some of these. Peppermint, Trisha. Oh, that's a good one. Peppermint to help keep me moving. I love that. Valor, so I can enter any room. Yes. Highest potential to reach my potential. I love that. I actually just put that on yesterday. So good. So good. Lavender is such a gateway oil. I call it my Swiss Army knife. Yes, Kylie. And that's one that's on my list is lavender, because it is. It's like good for so much. Lavender is like anything from you get a little cut, you get a little boo-boo, let's put some lavender on it, right? You need a little bit help sleeping more, use some lavender, right? One of my favorite things is when it's sniffle season. Okay, I know we have to be like somewhat compliant, but when it's like, the cedar's high, I like to just put lavender right over the bridge of my nose because it's like a natural antihistamine, right? And so it's great for those things. And so it is the gateway because it's like can do everything. It's so good for everything. It's great for regulating your central nervous system. It's great for calming babies and, calming animals. It's great for like all the things. I think lavender, I never followed the rules when it came to the animal stuff. So do not take my advice, but like we would rub lavender on our dog's ears, stuff like that. But it is great, great, great for everything. Yes. Valor is the go-to along with white angelica. Yes. Yes. The spiritual oils, like I have so many obsessions. Like I have so many bottles. I mean, I've got the white angelica here. I've got the other one I'm about to mention. But let's speak about some of my favorite spiritual oils. Okay. More of the, ones that I use to anchor in spiritually in my spiritual body and my physical body and my mental, emotional bodies to really ground me, to bring me peace, to again, regulate some of that central nervous system. Awaken is one of my top faves. Awaken is probably the first like more out of your norm basic oils that I got. And I just fell in love with the way it smelled, but I love the way it makes me feel. And one of the ways that I use Awaken is before I go into meditation or some mindfulness practice, I'll literally just like gently rub it on my third eye, behind my ears, put a drop in my hand. Again, it's all intuitive. So you get to play with these oils like you like, right? And huff it in and just like, oh, it smells so good, right? Another one is Believe. Believe is so good. Something about like the musky, I don't know how to explain. I'm so bad at explaining the smells, but like the musky, grounded, it's very masculine to me, which it's a very masculine scent, but I love it and I'll wear it all the time. My husband wears it all the time. It's one of his favorites. Believe and Valor and Christmas Spirit are Danny's favorite, and Trauma Life. But that, and then Abundance. I've got Abundance here. Again, abundance is so good. It's kind of got that spice to it. And I use this in my gratitude practices, in meditation, and just throughout my day. I wear a lot of these as my perfume. I know we have the Wild Notes, which is really exciting. We have the Wild Notes perfume. I don't know what they're calling it. They're calling it perfume? The Wild Notes, like scents now, which are like kind of like perfumes, but they're like good for you. They're not filled with all the chemical toxic crap. Okay. So, and I love that the Fireside Citrus is my favorite of those, but I still 99% of the time, y'all, wear my oils as my perfume. And I can't tell you, I don't remember the last time that I've been to an appointment, to a meeting, to the grocery store, to dinner where I haven't got a compliment on how I smell, because I am just always lathered up. Okay. Always lathered up. Let's see, white angelica, joy, and valor all day long. Yes, I love grounding too. I like to put grounding on the bottom of my feet before meditation. I'll even put grounding on the bottom of my feet if I'm feeling kind of like in fight or flight a little bit like, ooh, I'm not feeling like in my body and is grounded. I'll put grounding on the bottom of my feet and then like put my socks on and like go throughout my day. So I like do all that too. Let me make sure I haven't forgotten any. Orange. Oh, and then of course, thieves and frankincense. Okay. These are kind of those staples, but frankincense is what do we call it? Liquid gold. Like a drop of frank underneath the tongue keeps the doctor away, whatever they say. Like now I use the deep spectra, the phytonutrition supplements, those kind of things that are infused with all that frankincense. But frankincense, I mean, for anything from, lightening up scars to immune system health to just, I feel really grounded with frankincense. And so I use it in a lot of my like serums that I make from, my face, all these kind of things. And then the thieves is, as we know, all year round for us. If I since anything, I'd probably say 5 days a week it's on my radar, where I'll roll the thieves roller on my little boy, roll it on my spine. And so I just feel like that's really kept us healthy. I don't know about y'all, but I know in the last 11 years that we have been physically like the healthiest, so to speak, as far as, going to the doctor. And I'll be honest with y'all, and this is not me saying this because I'm living. So this is, I know we have to be compliant, but my little boy's never been to the doctor, and he's over 11 years old. Not for a cold, not for a flu, not for nothing. Because for me, we have all the tools through Young Living and through homeopathic remedies, right? Like more holistic remedies that I have at home through tinctures and then oils and all this stuff, where we are being proactive with health. But then anytime a little thing comes along, I'm not saying he hasn't been sick, he's gotten sick, but the way we move through it is so different than how a lot of us were raised, right? Or, I was laughing, I was like thinking about the other day about how, I was raised like, here, drink this. And it was like that bubblegum syrup stuff, just all the things, it's just so different how we have access to all these different things now, right? So these are just some of my main favorites. White Angelica on my shoulders. Yes. Oh, that's a good idea, just to like rub on your shoulders. And of course, Valor. Yes, yes. Sherry, I actually did not like Valor at first because some teens I knew were using it instead of deodorant. So BO and Valor turned me off, but now it's my everyday. Yeah, that would probably turn me off too. Valor BO, that wouldn't. No, thank you. Yes, Believe is so good. Motivation, I have like half a bottle of that left out of like the 1,000 bottles that I have downstairs of oils. But Motivation is such a good oil. Yes. Oh yes. Progressence Plus and Endoflex. I actually just started using both of those again. Clean fragrance, that's what they were calling it. I was like, I can't remember. Smoky Ember, that's actually Smoky Ember, Fireside Citrus. There was one other that I liked. Was it I don't think it was the Rugged. There's one, y'all, that I'm not gonna lie, I don't like at all. There was one out of those 5 that I was like, in that, I can't remember the name of it, but I was like, no. Yay, yes, yes. The good, Brooke. Yes, antibiotics like candy. Yes, yes. It grew up just, and everybody does, we know what we know. And so it is what it is, but it's just so cool that we have all this access to these things that I truly know, I mean, are from earth, and like they're here as natural medicine. And speaking of the last thing, as a supplement, but y'all, I don't go a day without Ninja for almost 11 years now. Like, I don't know. And maybe y'all go without it. So I don't want to I'm not shaming you. Don't take this as shame. My heart's pure. But I'm like, I have to have my Ninja every day. Like, I think that has equated so much to our health and to energy and to vitality. And I can feel it in my body when I don't have those like powerful antioxidants. 6 ounces. I love that. I love that. 6 ounces every morning. Like, I'll do 2 to 6 ounces a day, just depending on our day. But I don't go without that whole food, whole nutrient. It is so good. For those of you that aren't drinking it, it is so good. It is so great for your digestive system, the antioxidant power that it has. I swear it helps everything get delivered to your body. The ORAC value is like that, how much the antioxidant holds or whatever. And so this is so packed with antioxidants. It's great for heart health, immune system, brain function, like circulation, like everything. I can't get enough of Ninja. Yes, yes. Sorry, my little chat keeps popping around. Yes, Ninja every day, Ninja Red and Inner Defense. That's awesome. Yeah, Inner Defense is so good. I need to be more proactive with Inner Defense, but anytime I start to feel any type of way, I start popping Inner Defense. I actually had somebody tell me they used Inner Defense as suppositories one time. I haven't done that. But I bet that would burn a little bit, but coming out. With Ninja, with nitro, zinc, and sulfurzymes, yes. We did our little mocktails, which is the Ninja, nitro, and then a zinc. So started taking it in 2021. Sorry, my chat keeps popping around. Every day and haven't stopped. Yes, it's so good. I mean, I feel like if you had to pick one supplement, that would probably be my number one overall supplement. Yes, probiotics in the evening with inner defense. Oh, while taking inner defense, that's a good idea. Yeah, and I take probiotics every day too, for sure. But those are just some of my favorites. Thank y'all for sharing your favorites. For sure, I think it's important, and the reason I wanted to start like that is because it's so important that we love our products. It is so important. I can't imagine when all these people, and in network marketing, this happens, not just in Young Living, who's been around for 30 years. We are the world leader in essential oils for a reason. We are the OGs. No, anybody that came after us is just imitations, like we are the OGs, right? But it is so important when everybody, over the years here and there, they'll be this new network marketing company that pops up. And then you got these leaders that jump ship or whatever, and they start bouncing around. To each their own, no judgment. People got to do what they got to do for what they're thinking. But like when I went into my heart, and I had many offers, y'all, and many bonuses offered for these same companies that all these other top leaders jumped to. And I said no, because I literally could not imagine promoting anything but Young Living when it comes to like health and wellness, so to speak. And I was just like, I can't even imagine my life without Young Living, the supplements, the oils, the lifestyle, the heart of the company, right? Like I just couldn't. The thieves cleaner, that's like number one too. Ninja, thieves cleaner, like those things you will not see without. And the whole point is because I'm a product of the product, and I'm genuinely and authentically in love with the products. Like our entire house, like we don't buy toxic cleaners from the grocery store when we can actually save money and shop in our own store and earn points back if you're on loyalty rewards from shopping from our own store, right? Same thing with toothpaste and laundry soap and all of these things. When you actually do the math, you save money and you're getting high quality, low tox stuff, right? I love that. Use it to clean the horse water buckets. It's so good. So good. Yeah, it's like we have to be, if you want to be good at this business, you have to be in love with the products. And so I don't know everybody's stories. And if you want to share it in the chat, you can, because I know y'all shared in the community. But it's like there's people in here that maybe stepped back for a little while and, stopped like outwardly sharing because of the way of the world. Y'all, the last couple of years have been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in the world, right? And so a lot of people like stepped back, and then it got kind of complacent. Some people are brand new. Some people have been doing it, but maybe you've been doing it out of that hustle energy and scarcity and lack and all these things. And so my number one tip is going to be, you have to love the products. And so instead of finding 10 favorite oils like we just talked about, or 10 supplements that you love, find one or two things that you are passionate about, right? Find those things. For me, back in the day, 11 years ago, it was the emotional support oils, Valor, Joy. Those were like Stress Away. Those were the main ones, because I was 6 months postpartum when I found Young Living. And I was speaking to the moms I was struggling with extreme postpartum, all the things. And these oils really lifted my spirits, right? So like I was constantly talking about that. Then about 6 months in, I started to get obsessed with the Thieves cleaning line, the Thieves cleaner. And I could talk about how much I love the Thieves cleaner all the day, because I had a little baby and he was starting to crawl. And, it was like he's crawling on these floors that have this toxic bleach fabuloso on it, and like it's going into his skin. No, we ain't doing that, right? So I was able to talk about the Thieves cleaner and, the Thieves dish soap and all the things, kind of like Kristen said she uses to clean horses' water buckets. I always felt so safe when I actually learned about the Thieves cleaner, the Thieves dish soap, the Thieves hand soap. When I was cleaning all of Harrison's bottles and all of these things, I was like, I just feel so good knowing that he's not putting a bunch of chemical crap. I still feel good that we walk around barefoot in our house, and I know that we're not walking around on whatever, is else could be on the ground. So find the things that you're passionate about and light you up, that you genuinely love. Okay. So that's going to be one of the first things you need to really anchor in. So, because if you have stepped back from sharing, or you're new to sharing, it's time to fall in love with the products again. And if it's coming back again, go and sit down with your oils and literally spend intentional time smelling them, applying them. How do they make you feel? Like take one oil for 1 week and like just use, like, say it's like you want one like heart-centered, grounding, spiritual oil or a happy oil, and you just use joy, like you have a joy challenge for yourself where every morning you put joy in your heart. Finding those things, and then how does it make you feel? Tracking that, right? It's important. And you'll hear why in just a minute, okay? Okay, so I don't know where y'all are at. Then if you are sharing, if you're a brand partner now and you've been sharing consistently, just put brand in the chat. If you're a brand partner now and maybe you took a step back and you're ready to start sharing, put back in the chat. There's zero judgment here, y'all. Maybe you want to start sharing and you haven't, or maybe you're brand new, just put new. You're new to it all kind of vibe, okay? Back, yep. Yeah, that's what I was feeling in the community. I was like, okay, there's a lot of people back. Yes, we got our new Danielle. Okay. So a lot of reasons why people step back. Okay, y'all's chat is just floating all over my screen. Oh my gosh, come back. Technology. Okay, hold on just a second. Bear with me. Okay, so and this is something else that I want to walk through. So a lot of people will stop sharing because they feel stuck or like it's not working. A lot of people will quit sharing consistently, like I did. You're not alone. Like I did because of burnout. Okay. A lot of people will take a step back when they let the limiting beliefs about fear of judgment or comparing yourself to others' journey. I'm not growing as fast as them, but I'm doing just as much, whatever it is. Not knowing what to say or how to grow. Overwhelmed with social media. Okay. So if any of those relate, drop in there kind of what your sticking point has been, okay? If it's burnout, fear of judgment, not working, there's a lot that goes into building a business and being consistent. And it all also depends on what your goals are, right? So I'm going to talk to you about a quick like four-step system, if you will, on bringing yourself back to sharing, okay, to start to confidently share, to add a little bit more strategy in, okay, and then we can start to work through, some of these limiting beliefs as we go, comparing, fear of judgment, yes. One of the things I always tell my Soul Up ladies, if you're in Soul Up, this isn't going to be new to you, but this is where we have to do the inner work. This is why a lot of times where we have to do the inner child work. We have to nurture the little girl. I usually speak to women. I think it's all women on tonight. The little girl that's in us that's afraid of not being liked, afraid of not being, afraid of being annoying, afraid of being judged, right? And we're going to get into this, but I just want to say this first and foremost. This is the nervous system work we have to do. Your nervous system, when you have that fear rise up, when you go to post and you're like afraid it's going to be this, or you're afraid they're going to say this, whatever, it feels like you're being attacked, right? Like internally attacked. That fear can take over. But that's where we have to do the somatic work to really regulate your central nervous system, okay? So that actually I'm safe. Actually, I can handle if Susie Q next door or in a different country that watches my stuff doesn't like me. I can handle if someone judges me and thinks I'm crazy, or if I annoy them because I'm talking about my passion of oils and young living and products and supplements, this lifestyle. I can handle that. And that's part of this work that we have to do, and that we have to alchemize those fears within us. And that usually happens through somatics, inner child work, meditation, grounding practices, all of that. Okay. So one of the things I want you to do through this journey of starting to share again is really anchor in to your why. So the first step is going to be really anchoring into why you want to share. Okay. So there's lots of reasons why, and we could dive deep into an entire training about building your why. And I encourage you to dive deep, 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 deep into your why. Okay. Our whys are not necessarily, we all, I think, can say, oh yeah, like I remember when I started, I was like, I can't wait to be RCD and like, oh my gosh, life's gonna be so good. And if y'all know my story, I hit RCD and it was the same month that I hit rock bottom burnout and thought I was losing my mind, diagnosed with neurological Lyme disease, had an unhealthy relationship with alcohol, and like had burned myself into the ground trying to reach this level of success that ultimately it didn't matter how much freaking money I had in the bank. It didn't matter that we had 250,000 members in our organization because I hadn't done the really deep inner work yet. This was 8 years ago, to regulate my central nervous system, to heal old limiting beliefs, to not work from a place of burnout or from a place of hustle, to take care of myself, and to lead with a why that was actually fully in alignment, right? So I had a lot of things to heal. And if you were on our last Zoom, that's why I always say, do not start this business or do the business side as a brand partner from a place of scarcity or lack. You need to heal those things first. This is all the stuff we work on in Soul Up, by the way. We heal these things first, the limiting beliefs, the hustle mentality, getting out of survival. Y'all, I was in survival for 33 years, right? It was just 8 years ago that I like woke up and realized, oh, I need to heal this, because I was still functioning like that poor little girl, that abused little girl that was just in survival, right? No matter how much success I had. So that's why we have to make sure we're not running our businesses. I never, ever, ever suggest, because I did. So I'm speaking from experience. Again, everything's hindsight, right? Like I wouldn't take anything back because it's brought me to where I am today. And like, I see all the blessings and I'm getting to really teach and lead in ways that help other people not take a similar path in certain aspects, but don't start this business from a place of lack. If it can't be like, I need to sign up I need to sign up 5 new customers this month or my whole world's ending. That is stress on your central nervous system and your health, soul, body, and mind that you don't want. And you can't afford, meaning you are going to pay for it down the road with disease in the body. Okay. With, illnesses, it causes so much. So that's where we have to make sure that you're really, really, really connected to your why. Okay. You have to be connected to your why. And I want you to look at not just a sales goal or a numbers goal or a paycheck goal. I want you to fill into what it is you're actually seeking. A lot of you, if you're doing this, maybe some of you are just doing it for fun and you're like, this is just fun for me. I love this lifestyle. I just want to share. Like, I don't need the money. I don't want to set these big goals. I'm just doing it because I truly love it and I have fun with it. Cool. You're probably going to actually be really successful because you don't have that attachment to it, right? Like it's a very laissez-faire, like awesome, that the universe loves that detachment. Okay. But some of you might be seeking like a level of freedom from doing this, a financial level that affords you to quit a 9 to 5, or maybe covers like all your kids' expenses, or maybe covers the mortgage or whatever, right? And some of you may be looking for that next level, which is beautiful, but connect to the feeling that you want. Okay. What does that actually feel like in your body? And this is a lot of the somatic work that I want y'all to do. But again, I teach this in my other community, but how does it feel? How does the excitement of those paychecks coming in? What does that make you feel like internally? How does that allow your central nervous system to breathe a little bit? What do you want to do with the money that's going to make you happy? For us, like Danny and I were just talking about this the other day. It's like I had and this, y'all, for those of you that know me really well, you're going to know where this is coming from. But one of the biggest things for us was giving. We've always had a servant's heart. We've always been really big givers. And I remember all those years ago when we started making those really big paychecks, like it was so beautiful how we were able to give so freely of really big things, and being able to really serve and support and work with these charities and give this person this and gift this person this. And, it's like, and even to this day, being able to give from like just this open, pure heart, not never expecting anything back, but just giving because we want to give and we have the funds to do it, is like the best feeling, to support a family member, to help out a friend, to give to this charity, it's just like, for me, that's a big piece of my why. Right? So being connected deeply to the feeling of your why is going to be really, really important. Anchoring that in. Okay. Let me read some of these. I feel like there was an overwhelming amount of people pushing YL or the others, and I just didn't want to be another. Yes. And it can feel like everybody's talking about Young Living when your entire feed is Young Living people, right? But like for me, there's, first off, we know there's like 8 gazillion people in the world. I think it's like almost 8 billion, but billion people in the world. Young Living hasn't even touched all those 8 billion, hasn't even come close, right? Millions, but not billions. Okay. And we have to know that it's usually because we're seeing that bubble. So I can tell you right now, the market is not saturated. I moved into this new neighborhood. I've been in this 11 years. I moved into our new neighborhood that we're actually moving out of right now because we're building a house, a year and a half ago. And I've signed up a handful of people in here over the last like 6 months. They had never tried Young Living before. And they were like, we became friendly and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, even 11 years in, I'm still enrolling people every month. Right. And some of these people have been in my vortex for 11 years too, So it's like, there's always more. Afraid of burnout, fear of overwhelm, and social media. Got you. Kind of a mix of all, but especially limiting beliefs. If I feel called to come back to YL because I've used the products every single day for almost 2 years. Yes. You want to help women. Absolutely. Okay. So another thing, the next step, if you will, besides anchor, is going to be share. All right. I want you to know, and we've talked about this, that people are not buying the products because of the product. The people are buying the products from you because of you. Okay? You are the reason that people are buying the products. And so it is important that you are, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, that you are working somewhat on a personal brand if you're doing this online. Now, some of you may be like, it's all in person. You can have a personal brand in person too. Who are you? What are your core values? What do you believe in? What do you stand for? Okay. You've got to start building your personal brand online or in person. What do you want people to know you for? For me, if you follow me on social media, on Instagram or Facebook, however you found me, or TikTok, I'm on it all, is marriage, motherhood, and mission. So everything I do revolves around being a wife and in a sacred union that we have fought like hell to create. Okay. Being a boy mom and being a conscious parent. And my mission, which is all encompassing of a lot of different businesses that I run and function, but all boils down to helping women achieve true happiness and fulfillment, and not just some fake IG happiness. Okay. Healing from the inside out, truly becoming happy, living a life that they can be proud of. Okay. Marriage, motherhood, mission. So this is kind of my brand, if you will. That incorporates, again, several different things: Young Living, Soul Up, my masterminds, my coaching experiences, energy healing, divine mystics, my high frequency jewelry and feather hair extensions. Heal the Hustle is the book I'm writing. I've got a spiritual swag shop. I've got all these little things going on. Okay. I have a couples program and podcast with my husband, the Sacred Union Blueprint. I have all these things. Okay. But I've got this brand that like people know my core values. People know what matters to me. And guess what happens when I'm sharing about those things? When I'm speaking not from perfection, but from real life, I'm storytelling. I'm being the lighthouse. People are relating to me as Echo, the human. Okay. As Echo, the wife, as Echo, the mom, as Echo, the businesswoman, as Echo, the entrepreneur, as Echo, this is, it's like there. And then what's doing is I'm not speaking from perfection. One of our Soul Up mottos is perfection doesn't live here. Okay. I'm speaking from just truth and raw, messy, unfiltered, authentic, genuine, who I am. And they relate to that. So then what happens when you're making and connecting, okay? Which is this third part, connecting through your storytelling, through showcasing who you are. And I'm going to get some tangible tips for this in a little bit, okay? Then people are going to want to be a part of what you are doing, no matter what it is. Okay. If it is something that you align with people, they love you, they are inspired by you, they relate to you, they resonate with you. Then when you talk about how the lemon oil gets the Sharpie off the marble countertop that your child drew on, and then they're a mom too, or they're this or they're that, and they're like, oh my gosh, I need that. Oh crap. I love her. Like, I love how she talks about her. I love what her and her husband have overcame. Wait, she's talking about this like low tox, like non-toxic cleaner that she can use around her. Like, I need some of that. Right. So it's through showcasing who you truly are that matters more than anyone. Okay. Anything else. Okay. Let me see here. The truth bombs you always drop that I absolutely need to hear. Oh, I love it. But connection and resonance is what builds trust. Okay. So on social media, when it comes to social media, y'all, a lot of times people be like, well, I'm posting and nothing's happening. Usually there's some personal brand stuff missing. Usually you're not sharing in your stories. You're not posting consistently about things that are not just about oils or young living. We need to mix it up, right? But a lot of times there's no networking going on. A lot of times as people are just posting and then wondering why nobody's commenting or engaging with their stuff. But then I ask, how much are you engaging with other people? Not young living stuff or oily stuff, engaging with anyone. Oh, I don't. I hit the heart every once in a while. And I go, okay, so per the law of attraction, that's not going to work for you, right? So it has to be some reciprocation energetically. So if you are expecting people to engage with you, you have to engage with others. I've talked about this in our Soul Up. We just did a big thing. We're doing a big theme this month and lots of momentum in Soul Up right now. And one of the things I'm like, okay, if you're posting in the community and sharing your heart and soul, and then you're wondering why maybe it's crickets or maybe something which all this has changed in recently for a lot of reasons, but it's like, well, how much are you engaging with other people? How much are you engaging with your sacred sisters when they're posting? Oh, well, I'm not. Okay. Reciprocation. It's the same thing. Everything is energy. So the energy that you're putting out a lot of times is going to be the same kind of energy, if not more, of what you receive. Okay. So giving what you want to receive. So if you're going to post, say that you're making an actual post on social media, there's so many ways to run social media. I call it social media, and I actually have a little course on that. But one of the things I want to say is there's so many ways. So you get to do it your way. Not all of your content needs to be young living by any means. No, 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 no. We don't want all your content young living. Again, it needs to be more personal brand and then mixed in with young living. But more than anything, storytelling. It does not need to be like, lemon oil is great for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, those are fun. Like that would make a fun reel. But you want to make it engaging. You want to make it something that you would tell a story. I'm telling you, storytelling is so, so, so good. Okay. Utilize your stories too. Okay. The actual stories if you're using Instagram, Facebook, those kind of things, even TikTok. Even, well, no, not TikTok, because you can't do network marketing on TikTok. But a really good rule of thumb when posting on social media is before you actually make a post, say that you're going to be sharing something. Okay. Engage for 10 minutes, 5 minutes before. Interact with other people. The algorithm loves that because it's actually called social media. Social media, I call it social. Social media for a reason. The algorithm favors those that are actually social, those that are actually interacting with other people, those that are actually responding and talking in the DMs. Okay, so set a timer before you make an actual post and then interact for 5 minutes, 10 minutes before, 5 minutes, 10 minutes after you make the post. Okay. Ask questions. These are just a couple tangible tips. Ask questions in your captions to get your people engaged. Tell a story, ask a question. Start with asking a question and then telling a story. You don't always have to have a CTA at the end, which is a call to action. Okay. It could just be a really good story that's going to make them wanting more. Don't overthink it. Do not think that it has to be some perfectly written caption. Okay. Speak from your heart, share from your heart. Okay. Share from your heart. It's so important when it comes to sharing. When it comes to sharing, some of you said fear of judgment. There's so many ways to crush through that limiting belief. Okay. A lot of it does have to be through the heart, through the somatic. Okay. Healing that part of you that gets activated when that fear of judgment pops in. So if you fear, well, this is something that I used to worry about. Well, I'm gonna annoy them. Annoy who? The wrong people, right? Oh, this is gonna be, it's just too expensive for them. First off, I teach this a lot in my teachings. Get your hand out of other people's pockets. I have seen it. People spend money on what I think is really stupid stuff, but then say they can't afford a kit. You know, people will pay for what they value. People will spend money on what they value, and your job is to tell a story and show the value. Okay. So I'm going to annoy them. Who? The wrong people. They're not going to like me. Who? The wrong people. So many women are completely watering themselves down to be liked online. And this is why I'm saying the good girl energy of like, I just want to people please. I want to overgive. This is why we heal so much this and soul up. And this is why the inner work is so important. So important because it's your little girl, the inner child that's screaming out like, oh God, they're not going to like me. You can handle people not liking you. But you've got to nurture that side of yourself and regulate your central nervous system so that you can kind of be like, F all. I don't care what anybody thinks of me because I'm sharing from my heart, genuinely, authentically, nothing forced, nothing pressured. I'm just sharing when I share, and I'm doing it from all of me because I love Young Living and I love Young Living lifestyle. I love the lifestyle. I love what it does for me. I love the oils. I love the products, blah, 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 right? And if that annoys somebody, then I can tell you right now, they're not my person. They're not your people. There's 8 billion people out there. You don't need that person. Right? And if you can stay true to your heart and what you love, it's like these are the things we used to say back in the day when we were training 11 years ago. It's like people will sit there and promote something that they bought at Target to $1 billion company all day long. People will promote their Lululemon leggings all day long. You will tell your best friend about that awesome restaurant. You'll tell the whole world about that restaurant on Facebook. Oh my God, I went to this restaurant. It was so good. You'll have to check it out. But then you're afraid to share the lifestyle. And a lot of times it's because it's connected to a network marketing see, I just lost the word. Like, it's network marketing, right? Multi-level marketing. So people are like, oh, there's still a lot of taboo around it. But if you actually research network marketing, multi-level marketing, it is such a beautiful business model. And the wealthiest people in the world believe in it. Again, somebody might have had a bad experience, so they're going to judge you. Oh no, because I was with this company and I got screwed and da da da. Well, that's that company. You stand strong in your love and belief of Young Living. If you haven't gone to younglivingfoundation.org, if you haven't gone and actually researched and read the website of youngliving.com and the heart of the company and how much pride we take in our products and these oils and how we will do anything to uphold standard and da 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 da. There's nothing but to be proud of this company. Do we have issues just like every other company on the entire planet? Yeah. Perfection doesn't live here. Okay. But you can set something up for your sharing. Okay. If you're coming back into sharing, just start with a little bit of behind the scenes with your stories. Right? Like showing you filling your diffuser in the morning or applying some oils or like rolling a roller on your wrist, like start slow. Then you can ease your way into some kind of, content plan and those kind of things, right? But be thinking of how can I teach? How can I share my story? What have these oils really done for me? And one of the biggest things, this goes along with the scarcity and the lack and all of this, is to follow through and to keep going if you have a goal in mind when no one's clapping for you yet. This is with any business. I'm a serial entrepreneur, y'all. Okay. Multiple businesses, multiple avenues that I pour my passion into, all this stuff, right? It's not always going, you have to have that faith, right? You have to have that belief. You have to know deep in yourself what it is you truly desire and want. Okay? You have to know. That's why you have to be so connected to your why. One of the biggest things is to stay having fun. Nothing is that serious. That's why you can't, that if you're in scarcity, lack, and hustle in your business right now, we need to do the work to heal that hustle. We need to do the work to heal those money wounds, those limiting beliefs that are keeping you in survival. Because when you are in hustle mode, and this is the book I'm writing is Heal the Hustle, when you're in hustle mode, you are gripping on to everything like this. You're not open to receive the abundance that you truly want. So we need to work on clearing that out and healing that so that you have more fun, so that you're a magnet for abundance. People are going to be attracted to your light and the energy of, I know that I am going to be so successful with Young Living. I know that I am meant for greatness in Young Living. I know that I am meant to serve and make such an impact on so many people through Young Living. I know. And I'm going to keep going and doing, even if I only get 5 likes, even if nobody sees this reel, right? I am going to just continue to have fun and share my lifestyle because I know that I am going to make it. I'm going to reach the goal. Guys, this is 1 hour of so many hours of content and teachings and things that I want to talk to you about, right? There's so much to be said here, but you have to be attached to that why. You have to know, okay? So Sherry says, my everyday life is pretty boring. How do I share that? A lot of times, what is boring to you and natural to you is interesting to other people. Okay. There are people out there that sell and promote invisible paintings. Like they sell toots in a jar for like $30,000. Y'all, like people are promoting and talking about everything online. People are talking about the bowel movement they had and the parasites that came out of them. They're talking about like all these things, okay? So what you think is boring, maybe somebody thinks is really peaceful. And by boring, it may be boring to you, Sherry, which is this Sherry that's in Soul Up now? Sherry, is that you that's in Soul Up now? Okay, good. So yeah, I'm like, is that Sherry Soul Up? One of our newest Soul Up members, but it's not as boring as you think, right? You're on this whole new adventure. You get to showcase, like, again, it's boring to you, may not be boring. You're going on a next level, like expansion, awakening journey. You get to show, like, to me, like some of the prettiest accounts that I follow, I think maybe people would think are boring, but it's literally like not even their faces showing. Then they're just showing like beautiful like jewelry, or showing the landscape, or showing them filling their diffuser. Like, I would encourage you, Sherry, now as a Soul Up woman too, like maybe it's time to elevate some of your practices, some of your life. Maybe it's like, to me, it's like, I love talking and recording videos when I'm on my walks, and it's like, maybe walking would seem boring, but it's like, I'm inspired, I'm going to talk, right? So this is your time, everybody's time. If you feel like your life is boring, you don't have a lot to share, maybe it's time you turn up the dial on your life a little bit. Maybe it's time you start to think outside the box. Maybe it's time you start to see the beauty and the magic and the blessings that are in your life that maybe seem ordinary, but are actually really beautiful and extraordinary. Kristen, I'd like some boring in my life. I feel you. I got you. Slow it down. Okay. So there's so much that we get to show up with online. There's so much work that we get to do, okay? And if you are in Soul Up, you need to be doing the somatic work, the inner child work, go do the inner child meditation, tap into those kind of things. But if you're not, that's okay. These are the times where you start to look within. Again, anchor into your why. Start to connect, start to storytell, start to share. Start to realize and nurture that little girl inside that starts freaking out, fear of judgment, and just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Somebody's watching. You're there. If you have a desire in your heart to share, it's for a reason. You're probably meant to impact somebody's life. You are meant to impact somebody's life, whether it is through sharing an experience that you had that you overcame in regular life. Maybe it's something in business. Maybe it's an oil. Maybe it's a product. But you get to start slow. You do it out of abundance and excitement, not of need and scarcity, survival and lack. And you get to have fun with it and you get to enjoy. But you all showed up on this Zoom, and those of you that are watching the replay, for a reason. It's time to fall in love with Young Living again. It's time to step out and start sharing, titrate the experience. You don't have to do 1,200 posts in a week. Maybe you commit to one story a week for a few weeks. Maybe you commit to one post a week for a few weeks. Start sharing your story. Start building a personal brand around your core values, what you believe in, what you love, documenting things. Now, again, some of you are watching this, well, I don't want to be on social media. Well, then start to share more openly in person. Start to apply your oils more in person, right? Start to wear them out more, whatever. Work on your own self. You can handle people not liking you. That's where the inner work comes in. That's where you have to nurture yourself. That's where you have to heal. They always say, right? Network marketing is a personal development journey with a comp plan attached. Right? Without Young Living and coming in my life 11 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am today. It truly had me because I didn't know what an essential oil was 11 years ago when my friend called me and she saw that I was really struggling postpartum. She was like, hey, I have these oils I'm going to send you. And I thought she was talking about lube. And I was like, no, girl, I don't need that. Like, I didn't know nothing. I had no idea what an essential oil was 11 years ago. Okay. But they changed my life and they started to make me think outside the box, which is then 8 years ago when I had my big spiritual divine feminine awakening and just woke up to this healing work and all the stuff. I was open-minded to it because Young Living had opened my mind so much, took me out of like the big pharma world and took me out of like, oh, you have to do things this way. It's what opened me up to being in, homeschool. It opened me up in my, again, it kept me out. It got me outside of this bubble that my mind had been in for all those years. And I truly believe I wouldn't be on this spiritual awakening journey and this healing journey and the being the coach and the mentor and the leader and guide that I am now without Young Living. And so this gets to be a journey for you. This gets to be an experience. And if you feel called to share parts of that with the world, there's a reason for it. The world needs your light. The world needs your bright spirit. The world needs you healthy and happy. Some of you on right now maybe aren't the healthiest and happiest you want to be. That's where you start tuning in inner work plus the oils and the supplements, and you've got game changer. But this is one step of many. I'd love it if y'all would comment in the community later, share your stories in there. We're just now getting that community growing. I know it's a little slow to start because I think there's still a big learning curve for people coming off Facebook and going into Mighty Networks. And I get that, but there is a reason why I have all of my Soul Up, Alchemy and Oils, all my programs are in Mighty Networks now, because there's no, number one, the algorithm, okay, on Facebook drives me crazy. Number two, there's no distractions. So like when you plug in to Alchemy and Oils or you plug into any of my programs or Soul Up, like the reason I have it there is because you're not going to then get sucked into a news feed and end up on Facebook for an hour and then wonder why you weren't productive that day. Right? It's like you just have that one spot to go in. So use the community. You can ask questions. I want to continue these monthly Zooms on different topics. I can dive deeper into, if there's something very specific out of tonight that you want me to dive deeper into, post it in the community. I'll do little one-off micro trainings and all of these kind of things, these master classes and lives in the community. So I appreciate y'all for being here. I'm really excited to connect with all of you and to be a part of your journey. And just know that you are not alone, okay? I've been at this for 11 years. There's probably some of you on here that have maybe even been on here, been at this longer than me. I'm just sharing my own perspective, my own journey. I've been on a roller coaster in my own experience, my own life, my own Young Living experience. And I, for the first time in over the last year, I'm just now slowly coming back to fully sharing. Young Living never went away, as y'all heard me say, but I'm just sharing more and more now, right? And it's because I've been on my own path. I've been on my own journey. I've been doing the things. I've still been enrolling people, still been talking about it, but now I'm just getting more intentional about it again. All right, lovies. Thank y'all so much for being here. We'll get this replay up as well, sent out in the email. We're sending y'all so much love, and I will see you in the community and on the next Zoom. Bye, loves. Y'all are so welcome.